April 24th, 2022. Direct from the cradle of mankind. This is Too Much Information with Ngachira.
Welcome to yet another installment of Too Much Information with me, Ngachira. Now, as you are all aware by now, this country is in mourning following the passing of former President Mwai Kibaki on Friday this week. It's quite a sorrowful week for the Republic. President Kibaki was a dedicated public servant who fought for and achieved so much for this country. He was at the forefront of Kenya's second liberation. And upon becoming president, he put some common sense into our economy. And as president, he thrilled us all with his humor. May a hero rest in peace. Tonight on the show, we have a full pack of heroes, including active citizen, fierce defender of the Constitution, Madam Linda Katiba, Jerotich Seii. So, joining on the conversation via our social media handles, we are trying to get verified. Now, first things first, literally. They say life is a marathon and not a sprint, but for Kenyans, it's both.
Paris takes Boston. Jerotich, the champion.
He never let up. The bells tolling in Copley Square. Evans Chebet wins the Boston Marathon.
Now, Evans Chebet and Paris Jerotich won the Boston Marathon this past week. Congratulations to them. But what may have escaped our attention is that Evans Chebet conducted his interview in Kiswahili, and that a translator for the rest of the world.
Ukikimbia mashindano uliona Lawrence na Benson
na Kamworor kaona heri ni make sure ni fanye juu chini ni nipatishe kwa sababu nilikuwa najua hao TV si race.
Boss move on. This is the way we got to go. First we go and we win in your country. Then we speak our language there, like the champions we are. Okay. I was so tired of watching our runners being forced to speak English after a 42-kilometer run. So, Mr. Chebet, tell us how you won. I started in the beginning. And then I ran. And then the last kick, I ran faster and then I won. Hivyo Chebet, wapange bana. Wewe ndiye kiongozi. Ukishinda tena, rudia. Maintain hivyo. For Mzungu listeners, all I'm saying is congratulations, Chebet. Meanwhile, Ferdinand Omanyala. Like, put some respect on this name, man. I mean, doesn't this guy just make you so proud to be Kenyan?
In the middle lanes, but it's Omanyali's going to crush this one. A superb run, 9.98. What a run! Omanyali has smashed it here in Germiston. A sensation. Ferdinand Omanyali has brought his A game. The beast has really set the East alight.
That win officially makes him the fastest African. Or as the commentators would put it, Omanyali, what a beast. Now, the only person who has more records is former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko. And the only difference is that he doesn't win his gold, he buys it. And he's currently running away from Nairobi to Mombasa to run for governor. I mean, the outgoing Mombasa governor was probably an introverted character who was not flashy at all. Mombasa mtalijua jiji. Okay, I digressed. Now back to Omanyala. Have you noticed ever since Omanyala started winning, even the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, who is traditionally a Gor Mahia national fan, is now pivoting towards the short races? And this was before Omanyala.
Hello, Nampira. Nampira Kalonzo.
And then Omanyala happened.
Wameamua kunipate mimi kijiti. Hiki kijiti nitabeba kwa ushujaa. Nitakimbia naye. Nitaleta ushindi nyumbani.
Baba, we have the perfect running mate for you. Ferdinand Omanyali. This year's presidential candidates are expected to hand in the names of their running mates to Principal Chebukati this coming week, without fail. Now, as expected, this has not been an easy assignment. As nobody wants to place a bet on anyone until the last 5 minutes of the game. Now, on their part, the potential running mates are digging in and they're driving a hard bargain themselves. But for my DVD, yeah, under pressure. Ni watu wamemzunguka. Pressure ya mbogi.
Sisi tunasema kiti cha deputy president katika Kenya kwanza ni lazima kikuje hapa kwa chama cha ANC na awe Musalia Mudavadi.
Take that to the bank. Now, on the other hand, those close to Raila Odinga are not pretending on who the ideal candidate should be. Some people want someone who can excite the ticket. Others think a lady would be a good idea. And still, others feel someone from the mountain would take it home. I mean, this is such a mountain of a task. I mean, let's see who we have. Let's see who we have. Or maybe not. I mean, these are tough for our dear running mates. So it doesn't matter how you met your political bae, whether you moved in with your clothes first after the first sleepover, without asking questions like my DVD, or you played hard to get and even brought your auntie to negotiate before moving in, like Kalonzo. But it turns out nothing is guaranteed. They say elections are the voice of the people. But once you lose at party nominations, that voice may need to be silenced.
Kwanza niseme nimeghadhabishwa sana. Wewe unyamaza na wewe. Kwanza nianze na kusema kwamba sawa. Kwanza nianze na
I mean, party nominations took place in various parts of the country. And to help us understand the 5 stages of loss in nominations is our self-proclaimed political psychologist, best-selling author of the book, Tukutane Kwa Ground, Dr. Amandeep Jagde. Daktari, we've seen a lot of bigwigs falling. Tell us, what is not happening?
Now, Kenyan politics are like a matatu. Kupanda ni popote, lakini kushuka ni stage. Ukikosa fare, pia wewe unaweza shukishwa popote. Hiyo tunaitanga kutokwa.
But what if I refuse? What if I refuse?
Exactly, Taya. That's why the first stage is always denial.
Why? Why is this happening to me? What have I done wrong to the party? Baba has unfairly more than 3 times. I am too young for that.
So you're saying age is not a factor?
Sai, that is an age-old question. And when you have no answers, that's when stage 2 kicks in. Anger.
Doctor, maybe their anger is justified. Some feel they unfairly lost.
Sai, if you had read my book, you would have known that I have covered this exact very issue on page 74. That is the 3rd stage, bargaining. Now, if you only got 15 votes, how are you rigged out?
Definitely we have a solution. A solution. A solution. And a solution that these gamblers and thieves will regret about.
But is there a solution? Is there a solution? What happens when a candidate fails to make an impression?
You know what, Ty? They go into depression, which clinically we call it mtu asinipigie simu bwana.
Daktari, please tell me this has a happy ending.
You know what, Ty? Let me answer that by quoting the Waswahili. They have a saying, kubali yaishe. The final stage, acceptance. Like this guy, MC Jesse.
They called upon me, and I heeded to their call. And they said, no, we don't want you to be told what to do. We have a dream. And as a young person, I heeded to it. And we, in South Imenti, together with the community that raised me, we are going on an independent card to the ballot that is on the 9th of August, 2022 for the Member of Parliament South Imenti.
Okay, Aman, I'm confused. I thought you said the final stage was acceptance.
Yes, Tai. If you're not accepted in one party, you accept the position in another party. Or as an independent candidate. That is actually the final chapter in my book, Tukutane Kwa Ground. Now available hapo karibu kwa Raunda, chini ya bypass. Speak to Mato, tell them Daktari sent you. Uta maybe patiwa jugu for free.
Thank you very much, Daktari. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Hey. Next up on TMI, we check in on Rwanda, and our correspondent Mammito files a report on who has been behaving badly. Stay tuned. Welcome back to TMI. Now, this next segment is proudly brought to you by Tembea Rwanda kutokamaju.com. The British Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has laid out a plan to send failed asylum seekers outside of the UK, okay? Because the UK is not a country for failures, you know. Now, of course, a plan like that does not involve sending the refugees thousands of kilometers away. Or does it?
Anyone, according to Boris Johnson, who's arrived illegally in the UK since January 1st could be subject to this new deal where they could be relocated to Rwanda.
That clip was subtitled for us, okay? For us. Like, I'm so happy. Thank you, Chebet. Now, that aside, this is obviously problematic because first, Rwanda has been known to stand its ground when it comes to Western interference. That's even despite what it meant for the economy, Kagame akisema, amesema. Secondly, this is not what they intended when they sponsored Arsenal. One does not sponsor a team like Arsenal without a plan on how to get that money back.
As part of the deal, the UK will give Kigali some 144 million euros to welcome and process asylum applications, possibly at centres like this one.
Guys, in case you haven't gotten it by now, while the UK has a type, Rwanda just wants to know how they can help you, you know. It's a perfect transaction. So yes, you can visit Rwanda, even if, God forbid, something bad happens, and I need to go to Rwanda as a refugee. I can, right?
We would prefer not to receive people from neighboring countries, immediate neighbors, like DRC, like Burundi, Uganda, or Tanzania, but those are just some.
So, let me get this straight. If I was seeking asylum in Rwanda, say to run away from fuel shortages, nominations, kind of things, they wouldn't accept me at the border unless I first went to the UK, failed, but then I got a recommendation letter to them to go to Rwanda. I mean, but why?
Our compassion may be infinite, but our capacity to help people is not.
Compassion. I mean, where was this compassion during colonialism? I mean, that's something we need to talk about. Now, on this week's segment of Man Behaving Badly, a Nigerian tourist, Zainab Oladehinde, recounted her negative visit to Zanzibar last year as a solo female traveler. Now, speaking to us live from Zanzibar to give more insight on the matter is our senior female solo traveler, who also doubles up as TMI female defense correspondent, Mammito! Mammito, what's the situation on the ground?
Tai.
Yes, Mammito.
Tai, can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly.
Okay, niko kwa ground huku Zanzibar to see if it's safe for women to travel alone and how we can, you know, make it safer.
But are you okay? You seem to be dressed rather warmly for Zanzibar, Mammito.
Niko sawa kabisa. It's actually very hot, but you bring me to my first safety tip, which I've found for women. Layer wrap. Usijali mambo ya joto. Wear 4 to 5 layers in case any man tries to strip you. Uko na layers kama kitunguu. You know, this tie is for 2 days, eh?
Okay.
Yeah. Wakilea ninavaa.
Okay, but Mammito, I thought you were going to tell us what measures officials in Zanzibar are taking to make it safer for women.
Tai, kila mtu anajua it's women, yeah, who have to take extra precautions and change their habits. Not the system, yeah? Not men. Be serious, Tai. This guy, funny human.
I see, Mammito, I see. But what else have you discovered?
Yeah, you know, Tai, this, when packing, yeah? As a woman, please pack the essentials, pack your accessories, you know, sunscreen, sunglasses, and your preferred weapon, yeah? Anything. Mimi nimekuja na fair. Anything can happen.
Okay, Mammito, what else have you learned in Zanzibar?
Tai, learning, that is the word. That is the key word. Women traveling to Zanzibar need to learn investigative practice so that if anything happens to them, they can investigate thoroughly on their own. Be your own detective, okay? Kuwa na namba ya Jane Bond.
Mammito, are you still with me? Mammito?
You know, Tai, actually I've seen the perfect Wazungus to befriend, eh? So I can get the services I need, which is another key thing that a black woman traveling to Zanzibar needs to get your own white person. Pata mzungu wako. Jambo. Yes. Tai, let me go and enjoy the Long Island in this Long Island.
Mammito, everybody! Coming up, a conversation with Jerotich Seii. Welcome back, everyone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me absolute pleasure to introduce to us our guest for tonight. She's here to speak, among other things, what every citizen needs to do to keep our country sane, okay? Madam Jerotich Seii, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Before we start the show, former President Mwai Kibaki passed on this week. What about his legacy stands out for you?
You know, and may the soul of our departed former president rest in peace. We were very close to him, actually, because my mother, Ambassador Tabitha Seii, was the vice chair of the Democratic Party in the 90s. So, you know, they were very good friends, very close. And what I think he did was begin to revive our country economically and help us see what was possible. Yeah. Of course, thereafter, many things happened. But may his soul rest in eternal peace. And, you know, condolences to his family.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, there's something you keep telling people. You're not an activist, you're an active citizen. What's the difference and why?
Being an activist comes with certain connotations. You know, you work for an NGO, you're part of civil society, somebody's paying you somewhere to do something. I think talking about being an active citizen for me means that wherever you are, no matter what you're doing, so long as you're a citizen of the Republic of Kenya, you can do something about something that you see is not going right in the country.
In your active citizenship, you've been involved in a lot of initiatives. There is Linda Katiba, which is like a big deal with this constitutional amendment issue. So like one thing we'd like to know is, after what happened at the Supreme Court, could BBI come back?
Look, Tai, I was one of the petitioners on the basic structure doctrine. Yeah. And as you know, that was not, it did not go through. But I think Kenyans, some Kenyans might have thought that the Supreme Court ruling was like a football match where 5 out of 7 versus 2 out of 7. I think the bottom line is that even the 2 out of 7 that we had, the one about the constituencies and whether the president can initiate such a thing like he did, that was enough for us to checkmate the BBI process and say, it has been stopped dead in its tracks. That said, I know that in the Azimio space, they say they will bring back BBI if they do win the elections. I don't think it'll be very easy to bring it back.
It's well known that your dad, Major John Seii, was a part of the proponents, a big part of proponent of that constitutional amendment. On the other hand, was his daughter, part of Linda Katiba. Christmas must have been awkward.
You know, I come from a highly, highly democratic family. We have never been sheep who follow one particular direction or another. In fact, at any given election, you'll find all of us voting one way or another. But in any case, si kura yako ni siri yako. So you vote for whoever you want to vote for. But I remember having extremely intense debates with my father, and who is a very good friend of mine and a man I respect so much and love so much. And I said, unachezwa.
He's watching this. He's watching this.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad. and we had discussions, and that's when he came out himself publicly. Okay. And he shuked the whole thing and said, this is not what I signed up for. But yeah, we are a very democratic household. Okay, and we debate, we engage, and we have no issues. We'll go and, eat or have a drink together.
You've been leading with Switch Off KPLC, Linda Katiba, but what current issues are you currently working on? And what would you tell Kenyans to watch out for, governance-wise, during this period?
Anna, thank you for mentioning Switch Off KPLC, because for me, that is still the bedrock of my active citizenship. Yes. Because my position is, fix energy, you fix Kenya. Yeah. I have never deviated from that. In the 5 years that we have been running the Switch Off KPLC campaign, people think it's a narrow issue of KPLC, but we use KPLC as a pivot because we all deal with KPLC. They bill us, overbill us, blow up our transformers, disconnect our power, all things. So KPLC is a focal point that the public can see, but the entire spectrum of energy, whether it is your paraffin, your diesel, your super, your steamer, your gas, this is all the energy sector that is riddled with corruption, run by cartels, and if we don't fix that, we will never be able to build our economy. While people are busy pushing wheelbarrows or talking about 6,000 per household or talking about this or that or the other, if we don't fix energy, we have done nothing.
What's your parting shot to Kenyans around being an active citizen?
Please pick up an issue. You can be a member of your estate WhatsApp group talking about issues of security or cleanliness or traffic or noise in the neighborhood. Pick up an issue. Be dedicated, committed to it. Do not deviate. Do not blink. And build yourself a collective of like-minded Kenyans. It sounds so complicated, but it's not. Because how many times are we sitting around saying, we don't like this, there's no water, or this has happened? So we don't need to be going for the jugular. You don't need to go directly for Linda Katiba and go to the Supreme Court. We need active citizenship at all levels, from the intimate to the global. Wherever you are, do something. And trust me, Kenya is full of active citizens, unsung heroes, and we need to go without stopping. And we need to do it in a non-partisan, non-politicized, non-weaponized, but highly political manner, because our lives are about politics. And so we can be political without being polarized. We can be political without being tribalist. We can be political without being partisan. And I think this is what I would like to say. Let's be active citizens. Our agenda and objective has always been Kenya. I'm a patriot. I love my country. I am so blessed that I was born here. And if everyone feels that love and that desire to see our children and grandchildren live in a better environment, let's be active citizens.
Jerotich Seii, everybody! That's it for TMI tonight. Make a date with us next week, same time, same place. And let's keep the conversations going on our social media handles. Let's be keyboard warriors, Now, before I go, I leave you with a dose of African wisdom, as the anchor I have become now, okay? Brave men die in war, but cowards go back home to their moms. Good night, everyone! Good night!